Have you ever wondered why Japan has one of the longest life expectancies in the world? Why their cities are spotless? Why their people seem calm, focused, and purposeful? It's not genetics, it's not luck, it's habits, tiny habits, the kind most people walk right past. Habits so small they look almost invisible. But that's exactly why they work. You see, we've been sold the idea that change has to be loud, a complete lifestyle overhaul, a brutal morning routine, a 30-day challenge. Japan never bought that idea. For centuries, Japanese culture has understood something the rest of the world is only starting to catch up to. The smallest actions done with intention compound into something extraordinary. Today, I'm going to walk you through 8 tiny Japanese habits that create massive differences, not through overnight transformation, but through the kind of deep, quiet change that builds on itself for years. No complicated rituals, no expensive equipment, no willpower marathons, just small, almost effortless shifts that, when practiced consistently, reshape everything. There's a concept in Japan called ma, the power of the pause, the space between things where meaning lives. And I think that's the perfect way to begin this video. Because what you're about to hear isn't loud, it won't feel like a revelation in the moment. But give it time, give it consistency, and you'll look back one day and realize this was the turning point. Let's begin.
The Japanese word Kaizen means continuous improvement. It was originally a manufacturing philosophy, but it's deeply embedded in the Japanese way of life. The idea is simple. Don't try to change everything at once. Instead, improve by just 1% every single day. Want to get fit? Don't start with a 2-hour gym session. Do 5 minutes, then 6, then 10. Want to read more? Don't commit to a book a week. Read 1 page a night. Here's the math that'll blow your mind. If you improve just 1% every day for a year, you'll be 37 times better than when you started. That's not motivation speak, that's compound growth. The Western mindset chases transformation. The Japanese mindset trusts progression. Your challenge: pick one area of your life. What's the 1% move you could make today?
Okinawa, Japan, home to one of the highest concentrations of centenarians on Earth, people who live past 100. And one of their most powerful secrets is said right before every meal. Hara Hachi Bu. Eat until you are 80% full. That's it. Stop before you're stuffed. Here's the science. It takes about 20 minutes for your stomach to signal your brain that it's full. If you eat until you feel full, you've already overeaten. Practicing Hara Hachi Bu means eating slowly, mindfully, and stopping at the point of almost satisfied. Smaller plates, no screens at the table. Chopsticks slow you down. It all adds up. This habit isn't a diet, it's a lifelong relationship with food, one that Okinawans have practiced for centuries, and it shows.
Every morning, millions of Japanese people wake up with a sense of Ikigai, their reason for being. Ikigai sits at the intersection of 4 things: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. But here's what most people get wrong about Ikigai. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be your career. For an 85-year-old woman in Okinawa, her Ikigai might be tending her garden every morning. For a retired man, it might be teaching children origami on weekends. Ikigai is not found, it's built through small, daily actions that connect you to meaning. Studies show that people with a strong sense of Ikigai live longer, experience less stress, and recover from illness faster. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? Start there.
In the 1980s, the Japanese government officially recognized Shinrin-Yoku, or forest bathing, as a cornerstone of national health. Forest bathing doesn't mean hiking, it doesn't mean exercise, it means simply being in nature, slowly, quietly,
with your phone in your pocket. Research from Japanese scientists found that spending just 20 minutes among trees lowers cortisol levels, reduces blood pressure, boosts immune function, and improves mood, sometimes for days afterward. Trees release compounds called phytocides, natural chemicals that literally calm your nervous system. You don't need a forest. A park works. A tree-lined street works. The key is slow down, look up, breathe deep, and let the noise of life fall away for a moment. This is free medicine, and it works. Modern culture worships perfection, perfect bodies, perfect homes, perfect Instagram feeds. Japanese culture has a different philosophy, Wabi-Sabi, the art of finding beauty in imperfection, impermanence, and incompleteness. A cracked teacup that's been repaired with gold, that's kintsugi, and it's considered more beautiful for having been broken. A garden that's a little wild, a face with lines earned through living, a handmade bowl that isn't perfectly round. Wabi-Sabi teaches us that perfection is not the goal, authenticity is. How does this change your daily life? You stop waiting to be ready. You stop waiting to be perfect. You start. You make something. You share it imperfectly. The pressure you feel to have everything figured out? Wabi-Sabi gently whispers, the cracks are part of the design. In Japan, there's a concept called shokunin, often translated as craftsman, but it means something deeper. It's the idea that whatever you do it with total devotion, not for applause, not for money, but because the work itself deserves your best. There's a famous ramen chef in Tokyo who has made the same broth every single day for 30 years. He has a Michelin star. When asked his secret, he said, "I just try not to be lazy." Shokunin Spirit means the person who cleans the office does it like an artist. The barista makes your coffee like it's the only one that matters. This habit reframes your entire relationship with work. Instead of asking, how can I do less, you start asking, how can I do this beautifully? The quality of your attention shapes the quality of your life. This is the one I promised you, and it might be the most countercultural habit on this list. Ma is a Japanese concept that translates roughly as negative space or meaningful pause. In music, ma is the silence between notes. In architecture, it's the empty space in a room. In conversation, it's the pause before speaking. In life, ma is the gap you protect between doing. We live in a culture that glorifies busyness, full calendars, zero downtime, sleep deprivation as a badge of honor. But Japanese philosophy argues that the pause is not empty, it is where meaning lives. Practically, this means building intentional gaps into your day. A few minutes of silence after waking, a mindful walk with no podcast, space between meetings to just be. Neuroscience backs this up. The brain consolidates learning, processes emotion, and generates creative insight precisely during rest. The pause is not laziness, it's where everything comes together. The final habit doesn't require any tools, money, or time. Omoiyari means empathy in action, not just feeling what others feel, but doing something about it without being asked. It's the Japanese train conductor who bows even when no one is watching, the neighbor who sweeps not just their doorstep, but the entire street, the colleague who brings you tea without you mentioning you look tired. Omoiyari is anticipating the needs of others and quietly meeting them. Studies consistently show that acts of kindness, especially spontaneous, anonymous ones, are among the strongest predictors of personal happiness and longevity. When you practice Omoiyari, something strange happens. You stop thinking about yourself so much, and paradoxically, that's when you start feeling most alive. 8 tiny habits. No life overhaul required. Kaizen. Improve 1% daily. Hara Hachi Bu, stop at 80% full. Ikigai, find your reason to rise. Shinrin-Yoku, spend time in nature. Wabi-Sabi, embrace imperfection. Shokunin, bring devotion to your work. Protect your pauses. Omoiyari, be thoughtful without being asked. None of these are complicated. All of them are powerful. The question is never, do these work? The question is, which one will you start today? If this video gave you even one idea worth keeping, hit like, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe because we go deep on this stuff every week. I'll see you in the next one.